FBI and military began documenting the scene within the hour. Patrolman Lonnie Zamora saw two childlike figures walking around a large white UFO-shaped craft. He felt the heat as it silently went airborne. As he approached, the ground was still smoldering. He could see the landing gear imprints and two sets of small footprints. What went on in Socorro, New Mexico in 1964 remains unexplained to this day. Watch this video and see for yourself.
Very close to the Trinity test site where they first detonated the first atomic bomb, military personnel witnessed a glowing egg-shaped object that apparently landed.
This is Bill Haggard, Public Information Officer, White Sands Proving Ground, New Mexico. What they saw looked like a landing and takeoff of some controlled object from outer space.
Well, I was chasing a car up Park Street. It was reckless driving. I saw this big cloud of smoke, so I decided to let go of the car and go up there and investigate. By the time I got there, I could see a big white object sitting in the arroyo. I couldn't tell what it was at first. My radio was dead. It didn't work at all. I could see some figures. Looked like they were walking around the craft there.
They appeared to be dressed in white coveralls and were childlike, that is, small.
One was in front and the other option was in the back.
Zamora added that one of the two persons turned his head and looked straight at him.
When I got out of the car, about 50 feet from it, I guess they saw me because they started their motor or whatever it is. I could see a big blast of fire coming from right under it. So I was behind some bushes there behind my car. I could see it and I could feel that heat. That really got me scared, you know. A lot of people say, why don't you take your gun out and shoot at it, you know, and that weren't doing nothing to me, so. It just took a little while to get, airborne. Came up a little bit, about 20, 30 feet, and it stayed there a little while. And it stayed just as quiet as it could be. And then just flew away, that's it.
Lonnie was very, very scared. He was as white as a sheet. From here, went directly to the church to talk to the priest, okay?
Pablo Lopez was among the first to arrive at the landing and takeoff site.
The ground was still smoldering in some of the weeds that were around it.
This rare footage gives us a glimpse of the scene shortly after the incident. Patrolman Zamora stoops to point out one of the landing gear imprints where officers had just placed rocks to protect the fresh ground traces.
And then there was two sets of footprints, like so. That was about the approximate size of them. And in comparison to a quarter, that's pretty small, okay? That's about the size of them.
Within an hour and over the next several days, officials from the FBI, military, and Project Blue Book documented the evidence at the scene.
Were there any prong marks on the ground or anything like that where you could see where it had landed?
There were 4.
Very unusual footprints. How many were there?
2 footprints one side and 2 footprints on the other side.
Of course, the burn area there.
I was behind my car. I could see it and I could feel that heat. They told me that all over the state they had been seeing some of those flying saucers, whatever you call them. They gave me a book on it, and they told me to go ahead and read it. Well, it says not to say nothing on it. Keep away from it. Don't say too much,
It was the middle of the night by the time Lonnie came home.
Oh, he was real pale. And I thought he was sick. I said, "Are you sick or something?" He said, "No." He said, "I was just working." He was like he was angry. What I knew about it was when I started reading the papers, Started coming out and everything. They said, "Well, what's this that you saw?" "I don't know." He said, "It's just a headache." He said, "Everybody's after me, and some believe me and some don't."
Dear Mr. Zamora.
Dear Mrs. Zamora.
I'm interested in UFOs.
Sure. I believe you saw an egg-shaped spacecraft that had passengers.
I saw a UFO myself in the summer of
Go on
1958.
for a week telling you what I've seen. Boy in our school science fair had 3 pictures that looked just like the
I thought I should write to you to tell you that you are not alone in your sighting of this object.
I have pictures of a couple of egg-shaped ships taken when I was in...
About you seeing a
I am a
flying saucer.
retired teacher.
Well, you have a friend
This
who
saucer
believes you.
phenomenon has changed my life and ideas.
Elmer said when it took off, set his lawn on fire.
1960, the Red Glove officers, dozens of people saw it.
Can you tell me how long it stayed on Earth? And other things like that.
And then people started making fun of him that he had seen little men from outer space or this and that, and a whole bunch of dirty stuff.
A lot of people ask me, is that the reason you quit the police force? No, the reason I quit the police force because I was going into, a lot of publicity and stuff like that, and I didn't want to hurt the town.
The level of inquiry went all the way to the office of the president. To this day, the Socorro close encounter remains unexplained.
Socorro was very similar to the French cases that I had brought to Hynek's attention. Checked by the police, checked by the French Air Force, where there were also occupants who were seen, short beings in connection with the objects. I think that's what convinced him that there were UFO landings in the United States.
Thanks for watching this video. Click here to watch our playlist of short, credible videos covering all aspects of the UFO phenomena. And make sure you subscribe to catch the new content posted every week.